Hey, what's up YouTube? Today I'm bringing you another desk setup. This time I'm showing you my second desk. This is where I do most of my work and a little bit of gaming. What you would see is I have a lot of desk space on this here because, as I say, I use it mostly for working. So I need as much desk space as possible compared to my other setup. Okay, where are we gonna start? Let's start from the top. Okay, on top here I have a Blue Yeti mic, pretty standard. I use this to do my voiceovers, if and when I am doing voiceovers. Next to it I have, before I jump to the earphones, I have it on a Rode mic stand, which allows me to swivel it however I need to. On top of that I have my Astro headset, Astro A40 I think it is. Recently got it. I wasn't a big fan of earphones, but recently I've realized how handy it could come in. Next is my camera. My web camera is a C900 I think, Logitech. I use this mainly when I'm gaming and I want to have a live gameplay. I would typically use that on my DSLR, I'm not sure. It all depends on how I feel. Okay, below that I have two 27-inch Asus monitors. Can't recall the exact model number, but these things are gorgeous. Very simple, does the job. The refresh rate's 1 I think, and is 144 whatever, I can't remember the units of that, but I'll have a description of it below in the description. Okay, to the left side of my desk I have a Corsair computer speakers. It's a 2.1, which means I have two satellites and one subwoofer, which is below the desk. Not too bad, not as loud as I was hoping it would have been, but it's not bad. When I am doing a little gaming here, I use my PS4. I had this on my other desk setup, but I realized it didn't make sense having that and the Xbox on one desk, so I decided to split it up. Next to it I have an Xbox One controller, which I use when I'm doing my computer gaming. I prefer to use controls rather than a mouse and keyboard, which I can, but I really prefer console. Not a console, I really prefer a control. Okay, next to it I have the controls for the computer speaker as well as the mix amp for my A40s. Right next to that I have the four main games I play right now, which is Call of Duty, Advanced Warfare, Madden 15, Destiny, and Grand Theft Auto. I think everybody's playing Grand Theft Auto right now. To the right, if I continue moving along, I have my controllers for my PS4. I like to have them within reach, so I can just grab it and stop playing if and when I do decide to play. Just below that I have a Wacom desk tablet. I use this mainly when I'm editing photos or if I just want to doodle on the computer. It comes in handy. It's a nice little toy. Now the desk, I just love this desk. This is what you call a sit-stand desk, because it allows you to sit and do work. When you get tired of sitting, you can just adjust the height and it raises. So right now it's at 35 inches. I could press 4, which I have it preset, and it automatically rises. Now I think it goes as high as 48 inches. which is perfect for me when I'm ready to do my work standing. I realized by standing, you know, I think much better, and I don't have to waste time walking around, stretching my legs, and I can stand and just knock out whatever I'm doing. So it really increased productivity, at least for me. And I like this keyboard tray mainly because it's adjustable. I could do that. I could do that, and it goes down. I could bring it back up. If I don't want it, it's in my way when I'm gaming, I just turn it that way and it goes under, completely out of my way. So that's pretty cool. So let me reduce it a bit back down, kind of hide my wiring. Now if you go below the desk now and you ignore my cable management, you know, I'm working on it, but I realize with a sit-stand desk it's very hard to have proper cable management, mainly because when you move the table up, if the cables aren't long enough, you could really mess up your gears. So I prefer for now to just leave it that way until I could think of something a little better. But somewhere in between there, through the cables, I have my Elgato H60, which I use to capture games, of course, for my YouTube channel. I have a Netgear, I can't recall the model number, but that's basically my NAS, which I store my archive videos and music and documents and everything on it. I have this linked to my QNAPS NAS, which is at my other desk, so I always have my files readily available. And below that I have, this is a subwoofer for the computer speakers, and next to it I have my UPS backup battery. Now, living where I live, power goes quite often, so having one of these comes in very handy, because in my case it gives me at least 7 seconds for the backup generator to kick in, so I will constantly have power. And it also protects my NAS, so thank God for that. Now if you move to the right side of the desk, you'll notice I have one of these power strips attached to the desk. This comes in very handy when I want to plug in something quickly to charge or to use. As you can see right now, I'm charging my GoPro batteries on it, which reminds me, I'm using a GoPro Hero 4 to videotape this video. So, and I'm also using a G4 3-axis gimbal, so please excuse the quality, because I'm still getting used to the gimbal. This is probably my third time using it. But anyways, let's get down to the bad boy, which is the computer. Now, this computer was custom built and updated several times. The motherboard is an X79 Tough Edition Asus. The processor is a 3930K overclocked to 4.4. You know, so it's pretty badass. At least I had this for like 2 years now. I think it's about time for me to upgrade some of the components in there even more. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is sufficient for what I do. And of course, I have a 980 graphics card. I recently had a 760 in there, but it just wasn't cutting it for me, so I decided to upgrade to a 980. There I have 2 SSDs. I think one of them, the main OS is on 850, 1 terabyte. I game on a 840 Evo 1 terabyte, and then I have 2 Caviar black 4 terabyte edition hard drives, regular hard drives, where I store random stuff temporarily and my raw footage and what's not. So the case is a I think it's a NZXT 810 switch. I like it. It has all the bells and whistles which I needed. One thing I should mention is a lot of the hot air is exhaust through the top of the case. So by having a sit-stand desk when I'm doing certain things, especially gaming on it, I like to raise the desk a bit higher so that the hot air don't bounces off the desk and back into the case. So that comes in pretty handy for me. So in a nutshell, this is my second desk setup. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll see that I have another desk out there which I did a few weeks ago, but I think I'll do something a bit more detailed in it in the upcoming days, where I would go through each item one by one, kind of like what I did here. So yeah, so thank you for watching. If you have any questions or concerns, just leave a comment below. I try to answer them as soon as I can. If you like my channel and what I'm trying to do, please subscribe. And yeah, so thanks. Later.